Okay, well, welcome again, everyone, to the end of year one reporting and certification training with CSIS supporting CalPads. My name is Matt Clark. I'm a trainer here at CSIS, and I'll be one of your presenters today. Also presenting will be Kyron Pagulayan and my colleagues Slyman Ahmed, who you just heard on the ones and twos, as well as Nathan Holmes and Marshall Isbell. We'll be operating in the background, providing any additional support we may need via chat. In this session, we'll provide an overview of the end of year one data collection and the data requirements for end of year one. We'll discuss common certification errors and provide guidance on the reports review process. But before we get into the content, I'd like to do a quick poll of the audience if you'll allow us to collect some data at the top of the session here. Can you please use the React feature in Zoom to raise your hand if you are new to CalPads, if this is your first end of year one submission? We would really like to figure out who here is new and make sure that we can provide additional support to those folks who are brand new to CalPads. So I am seeing some of the hands coming in now. Looks like we do have a handful of new folks in the room. So welcome to the world of CalPads, and welcome to end of year one reporting and certification training. This session is set to last about 2 hours today, so let's go ahead and get started. All right. This slide shows the CSIS training roadmap or CSIS training model. The CSIS training model is designed to be segmented to provide organization of specific topics and concise delivery. We aim to provide focused trainings with relevant information and instruction. And on the left here, we have the CalPads introduction and basics, which are the prerequisite for the data population training sessions. The data population training sessions are submission specific in the fall. So we have fall 1 and fall 2 data population, and they are file type specific in end of year. So we'll have course section completion, student course section completion, and work-based learning data population sessions, as well as data population sessions for all of the file types collected in the end of year collections in the data population portion here. We then have the reporting and certification sessions, one of which we're in today with end of year one reporting and certification. It is really a soft prerequisite, but it is a great idea to attend the data population sessions or to watch the video recordings of the data population sessions in YouTube before attending the reporting and certification trainings. We are currently building out the skill building courses, which will be designed to develop targeted CalPads competencies and skills. End of year one, reporting and certification is a review of the submission requirements, certification process, and snapshot reports involved in end of year one. As such, this training is intended for data coordinators, those doing the daily work of CalPads. Administrators and data stewards are encouraged to attend end of year one reporting and certification as well. If you're new to CalPads, we strongly recommend that you attend the relevant data population training sessions again to learn more about the field specifications and submission details for the end of year one file types. Today's training has been developed with specific objectives in mind that highlight the essential skills needed during the CalPad submission process, and this slide contains those objectives. So by the end of this session, participants will be able to first identify key data and stakeholders in preparation for the end of year one submission, and this uses the data leadership and coalition building competencies in the CSIS CalPads competency model. Next, perform the end of year one submission process based on an internal schedule, considering staff availability and competing priorities, which uses the project management competency. Our third objective, resolve certification errors using analytical mindfulness and review reports for completeness and reasonability, which uses the critical thinking competency. And finally, analyze certification reports to assess the flow of data across the ecosystem and evaluate how well data is leveraged in informed decision making, which uses the data leadership and critical thinking competencies. As we can see from the bottom of the slide here, the competencies which end of year one reporting and certification training will develop most in users who attend are data leadership and critical thinking, which appear most often in our objectives. This is how we're going to make good on those objectives. This slide contains the agenda for today's training. We're going to begin with an overview of the end of year one submission before we discuss the data collected in the course completion, career technical education, and work-based learning submissions. We'll then look at the most common certification errors and review end of year one reports before wrapping up the session with reminders and resources. And we do have quite a bit of content packed into the 2-hour session today.